Today I wanted to talk about what is your motivation for eating. Now, obviously, we eat for lots of reasons. We're motivated to eat when we get hungry. We're motivated to eat when we're happy and celebrating special times in our lives. We're motivated to eat when we need comfort and are feeling down and low, and hence we have the term comfort foods. Maybe we're eating because it's lunchtime and we're not really hungry, but we're so busy it's the only time we're going to have to grab something and eat on the go. You also eat because you want to fuel a really great workout, or perhaps achieve a certain performance in a sport that you like to play. So there's all sorts of reasons for eating. However, have you ever really thought about exactly why you are choosing one particular food over another particular food? Typically, we rely on our taste buds, and when our taste buds say something tastes good, that's our motivation for eating it. However, I would venture that many people like me have one primary motivation when they're thinking about it, why they choose the foods to eat that they choose. And I was very surprised because despite my years of pursuing a journey of health and well-being and really maximizing quality of life, I realized that I was still falling under this paradigm of thinking that I wanted to choose foods that would result in me personally being the leanest that I could be. Other people might say, instead of being lean, that they just want to be thin or skinny, or they just want the scales to say a much lower number than they say now. So I was a little surprised to see that I was still under the spell of that paradigm, and it's no wonder. I mean, this is the culture we live in. We have beautiful people that are beautiful in their own right, and then they get on the fronts of magazines and they get edited a little bit to make them look like gods and goddesses. And then as a female, you really feel that pressure to aspire to that aesthetic. And I think that it's happening more and more with males as well. So the whole reason, my whole motivation for choosing the foods that I was choosing was which foods are going to cause me to be the leanest. And I had this epiphany where I thought, wait a minute. What if I really changed that whole way of thinking and chose foods that would first and foremost optimize my health, optimize my body's ability to heal, optimize my ability to live disease-free for longer? And I thought, that's the ticket. That's the real way to go about making your food choices. And I'll have to say, when I started thinking that way, it allowed for a lot more freedom in my food choice. Now, it depends on where you are in your journey of getting clean with your food and your understanding of nutrition and how to be healthier in those choices. But I had gotten to the point where, and most recently, it was the keto diet. And I love the keto diet. I think it's an amazing healing protocol above all else for any number of things that are going on in your body that need correction or need healing. However, my primary motivation for pursuing keto was to see if it would make me get leaner. And as a result, I went very low carb, and I probably managed my carbs to around 40 total carbs a day. I didn't count fiber and allow that to goose up how many carbs I have. It was just straight 40 carbs. And as a result, I barely ate any fruit. Now, the truth is, guys, is when you have metabolic syndrome, you really do have to pay attention to sources of sugar, regardless if they're coming in the form of something highly nutritious like fruit. But in my case, I was not dealing with the metabolic syndrome. I just was not eating root vegetables as often. I wasn't eating or at all. And I was not eating any fruit at all. And once I started thinking in terms of what can I put in my mouth that is the most nutrient dense, And it allowed me to dispense with how many calories, although I haven't thought that way in terms of calories in, calories out in a long time, but certainly further solidified this idea. It's not about the calories. It's not about what's going to make me the leanest. It's about what's going to give my body the best chance at being healthy and fighting off disease. So that's how I think about my food choices now. So, how has that changed my daily experience? Well, first of all, I do eat a lot more fruit. I have to admit, throughout my life, I have never been really huge on fruit, but I will go through phases where I'll get a craving for a banana, or I'll want blueberries in my yogurt, or now what I really like to do is put dried fruit in the freezer and make it like a gummy candy almost, and then eat it with 100% dark chocolate. These are all things that I now do because I'm focused on the nutrition I'm getting in that, as opposed to will it cause me to drop a few extra pounds of excess accumulated adipose tissue. And that's really freeing. I also do eat more root vegetables. And my number one criteria at this point is about the nutrient density. How much of a nutrient dense punch is that going to pack once I put it in my body? And I literally imagine my body, cheering and clapping, yay! we get more and more nutrients to be healthy. So another way that has informed my thinking is there, like for example, if I'm going to get cookies or make some sort of sweet for me or my family to enjoy on special occasions, I will always choose the cookie, for instance, that has the most nutrition in it. Am I going to choose that chocolate chip cookie, or am I going to choose the triple ginger cookie, which has also has cloves and cinnamon and real eggs and real butter, and is made with obviously made with flour. Refined carbohydrates are not great, but if you're going to use flour, I look for better choices like unbleached flour. And it does have sugar, but it has brown sugar, which means there's molasses in it, and molasses is a naturally occurring sweetener in nature, which means it has a lot of nutrition. So it's always about making the better choice. So I'm definitely going to choose that triple ginger cookie. Because aside from the sugar and aside from the refined carbohydrate of flour, which is not great, but if you're going to indulge, choose the version of the indulging that will allow you to get the most nutrition. And cloves and cinnamon and whole eggs and butter and ginger are tremendously nutritious for your body. So I would like to encourage everybody to shift their thinking. It allows you a lot more freedom.